Biden. Oof.
Forgive him. He knows not what he says. Which wouldn't be a problem if he wasn't our prez. Biden's brain's obviously a little hazy, which is why he says that's kind of crazy. During remarks at a Cincinnati metals factory, they have them there, President Joe Biden reminisced about eating lunch with segregationists. Amazing he still has the ability to reminisce at all.
We always used to fight like hell. And even back in the old days when we had real segregationists like Eastland and Thurman and all those guys. But at least we end up eating lunch together. Things have changed. We got to bring it back.
Yeah, let's bring it back. What are you talking about? Yeah. Good old days. Not sure what Joe was going for there. Maybe he meant he misses being able to talk with people even if you disagree. Or maybe they installed a metal plate in his brain while he was there. I don't know. Joe, can you explain yourself?
No. Look. We got to get back to the way things were. The way they used to be. Guys having lunch. I mean, not dinner. Dinner's not a good meal. But lunch, I'm from Delaware. I'm a lunch guy. I love lunch with anyone. Not just segregationists. You could be the worst person in the world. You could be a serial killer. John Wayne Gacy? I bet the guy liked a sandwich. Jeffrey Dahmer? Remember, he ate those people for dinner. Lunch, he was a soup and salad guy. Come on.
Cat. I hate playing the what if it were a Republican game, but what if a Republican said, yeah, I used to have lunch with segregationists all the time. We need to go back to that.
Yeah, I don't think it'd go over so well.
No.
I guess that was what he was trying to say probably, is like sitting and talking with people you disagree with.
Yes.
But the problem there is he also doesn't do that.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't even have lunch with Kamala.
No, he won't even have lunch with his own vice president.
Yes.
And you hear him complain about it a lot. He's like, I'm the unity guy.
Yeah.
We all need to get along. But you never see him actually living that.
No.
Because he actually said that modern day Republicans were, some of the people that were in the civil rights era, racism, racists.
He also said Trump supporters are the most radical criminal group in history. He forgot the KKK and the fact that he went to a funeral for a grand cyclops from the KKK. Forgot about that.
Right, and if I want to have lunch with somebody, I don't do that.
No, you don't. Brett, I made an interesting connection. I found it that it's almost like the old school segregationists and the modern woke might get along better because they are both about separatism, like separate graduation ceremonies, separate learning facilities, separate classes.
That would be interesting. A school.
Yes.
There you go, with both in there.
Yes.
I think when they go down the extreme MAGA, which you're hearing that more and more, extreme MAGA, they've used that phrase numerous times, and I think that it's politically beneficial. But to a lot of people, I think it sounds like a basket of deplorables.
Right.
Or like categorizing half the country that voted for the president and his policies an interesting way.
Extreme MAGA is a protein-rich chocolate drink.
And then we come full circle, right?
That's extreme MAGA.
Man, this guy
I like
in
the
your
way you bring
face.
it back, Greg. I like that.
Chocolate milk that's in your face, skunk. It's not like Mountain Dew. I don't know where I am, skunk. You're gonna have to help me.
You're in New York with me. And
That's going to be the assisted living facility for
Hey, we're all going to be there one of these days.
Oh, God. I'll be there before you, skunk. So what's your take on the president? I know that you work for the government, so maybe you can't say anything, but.
Well, I guess I have to say I took an oath to defend the Constitution. I believe in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence and the documents that are the foundation of our country. So no matter who the president is, I took an oath to support, and I believe in the system. And I think long before whatever president is gone, that the system will remain the same. And the fact that there are people in the country, on both sides, by the way, that believe more in the principles than they do in worrying about who is where and who is doing what, that's the only thing that will keep this country moving forward and keep this country alive.
There you go. Yeah. I don't think you can follow up with anything better than that, Rob. I dare you to. I dare you to come up with something.
Why do you have this racist on?
That's very good. Very good. Go for it.
Because I like chocolate milk.
And you too.
Yeah, right. I got to say that it must be really hard to be in the White House.
Yeah.
And just be a young person and not just want to get Grandpa going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to say, hey, Mr. President, what was it like back when all the, the civil rights leaders wore a suit and tie? Well, they were much better off, and just to see if you could get him to say something he's not supposed to say. Get Grandma going a little bit, just to see how it must be incredibly, incredibly tempting. But of course, I don't think he's allowed out that much.
No, he's not. I think that's the whole thing about lunch and dinner.
I don't think there's meal times. There's just like
it's a meal followed by a series of pills.
I think it's a
which is what I do.
I was going to say, how's it different from you?
Yeah, I do that without the meal. I just jump right into the pills.
I think it's a can of Ensure.
Yes.
And then kind of a little walk around and maybe a little emptying of and then that's that.
The chocolate Ensure, don't bemoan that. It's a very good thing. So is the Atkins chocolate is very good. The Dutch chocolate, quite tasty.
It's a theme of the show.
It really is.
God, right. Just like you're such a successful person, and then you paint this tragic picture of your life. It's just, I'm just sending you dream bigger dreams.
One of my biggest dreams is to swim in a river of chocolate milk.
Oh.
Who honestly? You've had that dream.
Yeah, well,
And then when you wake up, it's a mess.
But then I saw what happened to that Augustus Gloop in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, right.
All right, we got to move on. We have one more segment, and it's great. Do you need more than one pal to boost your overall morale?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.